Whatever, I have goals. Don't tell me I don't have goals. Oh, hey, welcome back to the worm. It's it's been blustery today. I kept getting up, putting all my snow clothes on, going outside because it looked nice and calm. Walk out the door and just comes ripping through. I heard 3 trees fall down just this morning. So I went back and forth 2 or 3 times getting ready to go, and then realizing it was still windy and I can't sit around anymore. Half a day is my max, and I need a shower. You guys saw the last episode. We patterned and sewed up the side panels out of this new canvas I haven't used before. It actually looks pretty good now. I got it stretched pretty tight. Usually use Sombrella canvas. It's kind of the top end stuff. As I've mentioned before, I used to have a business doing canvas work on boats. So biminis and dodgers and enclosures and covers and all that kind of stuff. And the whole time I did it, I used a portable sewing machine because at the time I lived on a boat and I wanted to be able to work on my own canvas on the boat. So got a heavy duty portable machine made by Sailrite, and used that ever since. Still have it now. Most of this stuff other than the canvas is actually left over from years ago. I always find a little project here or there to do canvas and sewing, and I pick away at my stash of, you know, thread and snaps and twist lock fasteners and all that stuff. So I had the glass left over, all the snaps. I just ordered some more of these screw studs that go in here. I don't have enough to put the front of this on yet, but we can still pattern it, get it all sewed together. And I actually do have a bunch of the snaps, the male side of the snaps, that instead of being a wood screw on the back, they're like a machine screw, like so you could put a nut on it in case you wanted to like drill through plastic or metal or something and put a nut on the back. Those really won't be great for this, but I could pre-drill the hole and just put that machine screw in there, and it would work for now, just in case I get that far and the new snaps don't come in. But in the last video, we also just used a bunch of scrap cedar that I had milled up a long time ago, little bits and pieces, and closed all this in. And then the same on the front too. As you can see up there along the top, that was all open. So yeah, let's figure out the front of this. The sooner it gets done, the sooner I can rig up my little heater in here and maybe have a shower without freezing my tuchus. I'm getting kind of used to a froze tuchus out here. I mean, year round, this is the only place I have to shower, so you do get used to it, especially since, you know, it's in the summer, it's hot, it's nice, and then just slowly through the year, through this end of the summer, the fall, whatever, you just get used to a different temperature being outside and showering, and then, you know, it comes back up in the summer. So it's not as bad as it seems. I imagine a normal person would have a pretty hard time just coming out here and like taking a shower when it's 25 degrees. So I do have a different heater that's going to go in here. It's that exact same thing, but it has 2 elements to it. Got all the hoses, and then this has lasted usually about a year of showering myself and anybody that comes to visit, whatever. It lasts a long time. It's gonna last less long once the heater's going, but the heater's only going to be, it's clearly not going to warm anything up in here. It's not going to warm up, you know, the wood or anything. I think mostly what it's going to help with is just radiant heat. So hopefully it won't suck that thing down too fast, because that thing's a super pain to move around and to get filled. I just an hour ago went out to the cabin there and flipped that heater on low. You know, I have a heater in there. Gosh, it's really something. I also checked the propane. There's the 2 40-pound, 40-pound propane tanks in the back. And I just went out there and checked them to see, and one of them's already empty. So it does cruise through a lot of propane. I wouldn't be surprised if 40 pounds doesn't last a week. And I hope it lasts more than a few days. That'd suck all winter long to have to go every few days. Well, I've got 3 bottles, so it'd be like once a week I have to go out and fill 80 pounds. It only crossed my mind when I went and turned the heat on a little bit ago that I should have turned it on a long time ago, because we're running the sewing machine off of a portable battery, a Jackery, and that needs to heat up before it'll work. It's probably just above freezing, so I bet it'll sew. So I did the sides on here. I used patterning material, which is just clear reinforced plastic you can stick on, and then you can draw whatever, you know, draw it where you want the windows and anything else, and then transfer it onto the canvas. And that patterning material just comes off a big roll. It's just a big sheet of plastic, and it was big enough to pattern this and that side together all on one sheet. Normally when you pattern something on plastic and then go to transfer it onto canvas, you cut the plastic out. Once, you know, cut out the exact pattern, lay it on the canvas, trace around the edges. But it just worked out fine that I could transfer all of my marks without cutting it out. And part of the reason I did that is so that it'd still be one giant piece. I didn't have to waste more plastic. I could just reuse that huge piece on the front. Unfortunately, it's super windy right now, so I don't even think I'm going to be able to pattern that. I think I'm just going to measure it. I'm just going to put 2 zips, probably line them up at the edge of the stair there and there, and just go floor to ceiling zips. And then I'll see what kind of shapes of clear plastic I have left, and maybe put one more window in over here. I'm going to do the same on the front that I did here. This is generally always how I do this. This is 2 inches. So you fold the 2 inches of the fabric up in the back, and then another 1/2 inch over, so the inside you don't see that seam. I'll do this all the way around the edges. And then if I put a window or two in, I'll do it just like this. That came out pretty nicely. I'm glad when I made the pattern, I made some extra marks so I could tell exactly where the inside of this log was and where the bottom of that was. And that let me come in. I think I came in 2 inches there. This is about 2 inches here. And about 2 inches there, so it looks nice. It looks nice when it's framed like that. So let's go 24, 2 feet and 5 feet. Perfect. The zipper needs to come at least, say, I don't know, 7 feet. Could be anywhere from top out at here to probably closer to the top there. So it'd have to be at least 8 inches down from the very top. Hopefully I got enough. Yeah, I'm sure I do, to do 2 zippers. I think I have a big roll of it somewhere. Oh, actually we should figure the windows out now too. So this needs to fit between here and the zipper. And I don't know, what do you think? 7 feet down to 4 or 5 feet, and then fit in that area. Might as well put one here too, because the only thing I use this mirror for is occasionally, once every couple weeks for shaving. It'd be nice if there was a window right here so you could actually see your face. Yeah, so let's just maybe fit a little skinny one in right there. Yeah, see, you got heat. If you ask me, you guys don't seem nearly as excited as you should be about that little heater. Even though it's only 47, 26 outside, feels great. Need some scrap paper to draw this up on. Use the heater template. My notebook here was frozen. I could barely get it to write on there, penciled right on there, so I'll transfer it to something I can read. Alright, let's see. So we're something like that. 92, vertically 105. And then the step is here. It's 3 feet wide, 2 feet from the edge. So that's where the zippers will go. Here and there. And then the log sits in here. That's 5 inches in. And then 5 inches here is the log. And then we want to keep the zippers here 1 foot from the top. So all around the edges, I'm going to add 2.5 inches for the flap to sew underneath. And then the seam, wherever it is in the fabric, will be an extra inch. So we're basically going to just take 2 pieces of fabric like this and sew them together right down the middle, and then we'll lay this whole thing out right on top of that, and we probably won't, like, part of this won't even get used. So this is 105 tall, plus 2.5 inches here, plus 2.5 inches here for the seams, the hems. So that's nice. All right, 110. 2 pieces that are 110. Try to get these as straight and exact as possible so they fit together without having to trim them. I can still see my breath down here on the ground. Whoa! Kind of a hard kick. I'll mark these flaps to fold under and sew. Seems like I get about 87 seconds in the winter where I can film in here. It's still light enough. It's going to be the shortest day of the year before too long here though, and we'll start getting longer. This canvas is pretty stretchy, so I'm really pulling hard opposite directions to keep it from curling up. See the first few stitches, see how it's wavy? Because this wasn't pulled tight enough. Well, this is not going to work. This is, a lot of times this happens if you have the tension turned up too high on the sewing machine, so it's pulling the stitches tight and it kind of wrinkles up the edge of the fabric. I've got it turned all the way down, and I was pulling this tight and it's still wrinkling it. It has something to do with this type of fabric. I think I mentioned in the last video, this is a brand that I've never used before. I've always used the kind of the top of the line Sunbrella fabric. It's really expensive. I've used the really cheap stuff. It sucks in the sun, wears out, it's just different stuff. And this was a new one that was kind of in the middle, so I thought I'd try it. It's still pretty spendy. It was 20 something a yard, but it just acts differently than Sunbrella does. So I'm gonna have to think something else up here. If you got a scallop on the edge like that, you get rid of it by putting a connector up at the top, like putting a snap right, there'll be snaps along the edge here. Say that's the top edge. And then wherever the seam is, you could put a snap there and just really pull it tight. And then same on the other end, another snap, and just yoink it out. But the way I was going to do this, this seam is going to be right in the middle of the door. And I guess you'd snap it down when you got out of there, like when you left the shower. Put a snap at the bottom. Just kind of weird to do it in the middle of the door. It'll make the door itself wrinkle up. So I got a different idea. If I made these all out of separate panels, yeah, we got a 2-foot, 3-foot wide door, and then 32 inches left over. If I move these zippers just a little bit, I can get this one, a 2-foot and a 32 inch. It'll be about exactly one panel split down the middle. And then I can use the other one as the 3-foot in the door. And I think I'm just going to make the zippers go all the way up to the very top. That way I could put a snap or maybe a twist connector right here at the bottom, just outside of the door and just outside of the door, so that when you zip this down, the zipper meets together. It should pull everything perfectly tight. Well, maybe not perfectly, but I think that'll work. So I just sewed that for nothing. We'll just cut that piece out. Can you see anything, or is it too dark? I already sat inside too long today. I can't quit now at 4:30 just because it's dark. Alrighty, got all the edges sewed up, so now we just need a zipper there and a zipper there. There's kind of a cool way to do this so that you end up with a hidden zipper, so it's not fabric ends and then a zipper and then fabric. As you sew these together like this, 1 inch in, and then leave that stitch there, fold it back open, and stick the zipper on. That may not make any sense right now, but I'll show you in a minute. Then you rip that stitch back out, and you've basically got a fully covered zipper. It's kind of a cool trick, makes it look really nice. It's also, I think, the easiest way to put on a zipper and get everything nice and straight. Actually, while this all lays out flat, it might be best to stick some windows in here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, got lots of pieces in here. Let's see, ideally, What would we want? That's 4 feet there, like 4 to 6.5 or something. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, that's 4. And the top of the glass is 6'8". So, oh, if you hear the 4-wheeler, Tito's here working on his cabin again. At least he's still cutting trees and burning branches and stuff. I guess his idea is to get all the trees down he needs, all the logs laid up, all the branches chipped or burnt. Looks like it's a little bit too late in the year to put the foundation in, to put the pads in. I think he wouldn't get the concrete to harden this late in the year, but I don't know, we'll see. There he goes, one of God's own prototypes. A high-powered mutant of some kind never even considered for mass production. Too weird to live, and too rare to die. So, yeah, I think he's just going to do everything that he can over the winter, just like 1 day a week. Get everything cut, cleaned up, milled, laid aside, and then as soon as he can put the concrete in the spring, he'll start building up from there. It'll go really fast. It's only going to be 90 square feet. Got one little scrap from the side windows left over. Ah, it's busted. Huh, that would make kind of a small window. Yeah, let's just do it anyway. That's close enough to the right size. I just cut the bad spot off of this, so I'm just gonna sort of center it a little bit, and then we'll get this distance, and we'll do the same over here, and then we'll get this distance from the zipper, do it the same here, the same here, and the same here, and that'll dictate the size of the other 2 windows, and I'll just chop them out of that big piece I got there. 5.5 from the edge. 8 from the side. Leaves us a 9.5 inch window. This one is 30. Man, this thing's been rolled up and frozen for so long. It's gonna be hard to get it to lay out flat. Holy cow, that is dirty. That looks pretty bad. It's just from years of getting moved from here to there, here to there. I do keep them pretty well wrapped in paper so that the glass isn't touching the glass. It doesn't tend to get as scratched, but I don't know. I think I'll just use it, and then I've got some cleaner. I can get some more cleaner that's made just for this stuff. It does a really nice job of clearing it up. Yeah, let's just go for it. See if we can get it to unroll. Wish I could just hang it here. Huh. So the windows go 25 from the top is what I figured. 25. Like that. And then 5 inches from the zipper. 5. Alright, so I'm going to tape these down. I showed this in the last video and maybe previous sewing videos, I don't know. This is a double-sided tape that's made just for this. I think it's called basting tape. Weird name. But it sticks really nicely to this glass material and pretty well to the canvas. I think this one, yeah, I think this one is actually made for canvas. If you're interested too, you're wondering where you get all this stuff. When I was doing this for a business, I got everything from Sailrite. And everything that I'm using here is all from Sailrite too. Some of it old, some of it new. Even that sewing machine is a Sailrite sewing machine. And if you want to learn how to make anything with canvas, they have a insanely large video library of like anything from, you know, how to make a boat cover to how to cover a chair or make an awning for your house or anything. That's actually when I started doing this at first. I started doing canvas because I needed new canvas on my boat. So I did it all pretty horribly and then learned about Sailrite. I actually bought a couple other DVDs. Redid everything much better. Man, it was a huge job both times. And then people started asking me to work on their boats. So yeah, but everything I learned originally was from Sailrite, and the vast majority of the videos on there are free too. So this stuff's nice when you're sewing canvas, because if you got any 2 pieces you need to put together and you don't want them to move around while you're stitching them, You can tape the crap out of them and they'll generally stay stuck. And also, if when you sew, you go through the tape, like if you have a piece of window glass, piece of canvas, and you put the tape in between, if you sew through all that and the tape, it kind of waterproofs the seal too. You won't get water leaking through the stitches. So I'm just going to do this right up to the very edge. And then do one more right next to it, because I will end up stitching double along the edge here. And the more tape, the better it sticks on the canvas, won't move around. Just like with the side panels, I don't want to see this tape in here, so put this, I think this is called binding tape. You can actually use it to the edge of a piece of fabric or something. You can bend this around and stitch it. Kind of closes up the raw end of the fabric. So I'm going to tape a whole bunch of this, double tape it on here, and then stick it around the edges. It would have been sort of nicer to put the zipper on first, because now every time I have to sew on this panel, this window is going to be getting dragged around, possibly scratched up extra. However, every time I sew this weird fabric, it kind of scallops up, like pinches together, and the whole thing will come out like crap if this window doesn't fit perfectly flat on here. Like there's a wrinkle, a little wrinkle of the fabric underneath the window. When you go and hang the whole thing up and try to pull it tight, it'll just be kind of wrinkled. So I'll just do my best not to scratch this as I'm sewing everything together. Alright, flip these guys over. I think I'm going to try to lay them on each other so I don't scratch it up. Alright, find the edges here. Then I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches. Cut this out. Tuck all these edges under here. You can see after you cut this out, you just have this raw edge here. And then tuck it back underneath, and you can see right there is that black strap we put on the back side. So when you sew it right along here, those will match up. We've used a little over 17% of the battery so far. That was to sew the two side panels. Probably be about the same for this. That's not too bad to run an industrial sewing machine. Flip it over and go around one more time. So that was one trip around right here, And then the second one will be on this side. You know, the one downside to using a different color thread than the fabric is if you don't stitch it nice and straight, it really shows up. I kind of drifted a couple of these. Well, hopefully nobody will come out and stare too close at my shower stitching. Actually, hopefully nobody will come out. 2 down. Actually, the thread's dark enough you can't really tell. It'll be fine. It'll probably still hold the heat in. So let's see, that's the left panel. And this is the door. We're going to sew those two together like that. And then put the zipper in. So this is 1 inch in, just sewed them together, the two edges. Now we're going to open them up and slap the zipper in there. And once the zipper's on, I'll go back through and rip that stitch out, and then you'll have these two that fit perfectly together. Well, I was wondering if I had any zippers or if I got rid of all of them, but I've got these. It's about 15 pounds of zippers. Let's see what's in here. Oh, we got good. Oh yeah, we got good stuff. Oh no, these are all finished too. Finished zipper just means it has these ends on it. So this is like a set length. This is probably like 6 feet or 8 foot zipper. And when you zip down to the end, it stops. The other end has the little tab that you slide in. So it's pre-cut. It's a length. We don't want that because I don't think we're going to find anything exactly the length of this. These are all finished zippers too. 36 inch, 60 inch. White wouldn't look very good, but here's a white just bulk zipper. So if you get to the end, it's just cut off. You got to put your own little zipper stops on there so when you get to the bottom it doesn't just slide off. So this is 105 inches tall. I'm just going to do the zipper end to end. 105 is 8'9". So we could do an 8-foot zipper, I guess. Yep, we're going to have to go with these. The other thing is these do happen to have double pulls on them, so you got to be able to zip it up and down from the inside or the outside. That's pretty important. Unfortunately, they're metal. They kind of corrode after a while, but if I had to, I could rip them off of there and put a plastic one on there. I also went ahead and measured out where all the snaps are going to be along the side, and then I pounded nails in here. That's why it's nice not to have a super nice floor. I'm trying to get this as stretched out as possible. It's not all crinkly. I want to make sure the zipper fits tight in there. Alright, let's just tape these up and slap them on there. Yeah, found some skinnier tape. It doesn't hold as well, but it won't get in the way once this is all stitched on. It won't be sticking up the sides. You'll see. Just hold on, you'll see. Just take this and open it right up. And stick that zipper right on there. If you just separate the zipper and sew one side on here and one on here, if something stretches a little bit while you're doing it or moves around, then the zippers don't line up right, or you have one panel that's higher than the other, whatever. So kind of got to sew them together or attach them somehow to get it to come out just right. The only downside is now I have to move both these panels together as one piece, so good chance I'll end up ripping this tape off of here. No thank you, we're busy. We have all we need. Housekeeping? Are you going to open thine door?
May I?
As long as you don't let the heat out. Go, 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 go. Sup, filthy creature.
All done, it's all built.
You done already?
Yep.
Good 3-hour day.
How am I doing?
Drop it. And then you can just hold this here.
I think I'm doing a great job.
You're pulling a little bit.
I'm trying not to.
Okay. You're doing great then.
like pull pretty hard.
It pains me to say this, but I couldn't do this without you.
You know what I know?
Before I ran out.
Bobbin.
You're a bobbin.
I know that sewing term.
Do you? Do you know what it means?
Yeah, it's the thing under there.
You think Bob invented the bobbin?
No.
Okay. You seem pretty sure.
Yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah. You run the same side through?
The other side. This side.
Oh, and you're just because that side's okay.
Okay. Please stop smelling my pencil. I hate it when he does that. He's such a freaking weirdo.
Doesn't even smell good.
But you still can't stop.
Yeah.
Glad you gave up on lumberjacking. This actually, like this kind of stuff, when you can't do it by yourself, there's no good way. There's nothing you could build. You can't make trapeze or a crane or anything. It's like, it's so not fun.
The absolute last resort.
I can get a t-shirt that says that. Or put it on your dating profile.
Yeah.
I am the last resort.
Giving up hope.
Call and then
Yeah.
put your phone number.
It's exhausting.
Do you think that maybe it's just your personality that you find exhausting?
Yeah.
Just can't get away from it.
I have thought about that.
If you could do it without cutting the fabric, you run that right through there. And then you got a nice hide-a-zipper.
Why is it together like that?
Because that's how you make it come out like this when it's done. So that's how it'll look on the outside. And you can still get the zipper in there. Zip it real nice, but it kind of like hides it. I just think it looks nice. Like it's a perfect way to put it together so all the fabric and everything comes out just right and even.
Mm-hmm.
But it also looks cool that it's like hidden in there.
And it looks professional.
Professional's the only way we do it at the Worm. We cut no corners. Only high quality. Oh man, my knees are getting sore from doing this. It sure was helpful having Tito here for an hour or two helping me feed this through the machine. It would have been a disaster without him. Alright, hopefully, see if I got enough snaps. Oh boy, it's gonna be close. Did I mention my knees hurt? I didn't feel it last night. Now they're pretty bad. A bunch of those, and I don't have a bunch of these, but maybe it'll be enough. You ever have to do snaps, you can get this little anvil thing that I think this sits on. The canvas goes over it. You put this guy, the female side, on it, and then you hit it with a hammer like a little handle piece that goes in there, and it spreads that little thing out right there. I use those for a while, but holy cow, if you got to do a lot of them or you can't do it on the ground, kind of got to have one of these guys. Let's just make sure we put these on the right side. I've been known to put them on backwards before. So that's it. Just squishes that middle part out. I'm so excited to get this on here, I'm skipping breakfast. I mean, I'm excited to get this on here, and I'm excited to have a shower. Even though today it's totally warm enough to not use a heater and not have it closed in. Yeah, maybe I should just skip it. Finish it, you know, in a month when I really have to have it. I'll just do it while I'm here. That one snap's gonna hold it up. It's pretty heavy. Should have maybe put a different snap in the corners. You know, when you put that snap socket, the female side of it on there, there's actually a couple different types. If you look inside, like there's a cap and you look inside, there's a little piece of wire around the inside, and the wire's different colors. There's like a hard action and a regular one. So like a regular snap goes on and off, I don't know, like a snap does. And then there's a different color wire that must be stiffer, and that's what actually grabs onto the male part. And those are hard action, like they're harder to put on and then a lot harder to pull off. It would have been good to put the hard action ones in the four corners just so I could stretch this out without them coming off. Right about there, is that look good? Well, I only have a couple of these left. These are the wood screw snaps that I've been putting in there. I've got a bunch of these are machine screws. Not the best thing for what I'm doing, although most of the force is sideways on it, so it should work for a short amount of time. I think I'm gonna rob these out of this one, the wood screws, and put the machine screws in there since there's already a hole where each snap was. And then I can use the other ones to finish this. Hopefully in the next week or so I'll get another batch of the wood screws in the mail, and then I can replace them again. Ooh, that's tight. I like to pull this all really tight because it's really cold out here, so especially the glass, when it gets warm, it'll stretch out. And this whole, it'll look nice and tight now, and it'll all be saggy later on. Downside of stretching it too tight, especially this way, is that it's hard to pull the zippers closed. Like, you can rip the zippers out. It was about 30 in the cabin when I pulled this out of there, and it's probably about the same right now. So maybe when it gets a little bit of sun on here, or I turn the heater on in the inside, maybe it'll all relax a little bit and I won't destroy the zippers. Oh yeah, here's a perfect example. Putting the edge of this came out pretty much right on that pencil line that I had on here. And you get up to here where the windows are, and you can't pull it at all. Not until the windows warm up. Well, I'm just going to put them in where they fit here, and then it'd be easy enough to pull the screw out, move it over a little bit later on. Should we try it out? Ooh, it's nice and tight for now. You know what I forgot to do? I was going to put some straps on the top so you could roll this door up and just leave it open. Well, maybe we'll get to it, maybe we won't. Hey, those work great. This is sweet. There's still plenty of room in here. Yeah, I like it. I love it when a knot plane works out. Oh, crap, I still have to caulk this whole thing. The zippers look great. This came out pretty well. Like, the trim on the windows is pretty sweet. I think I'm about ready for a wintertime shower. So, we gotta caulk, gotta put the straps on up there. Maybe we should just hook up the heater right now, see if it works. Holy schmoly, this thing's huge. I've been using these as my only source of heat until I got that heater in the man cave. I've never had a big one like this. It is massive. I saw this on the box just now. You put batteries in it. There's some kind of fan in it too. Huh. Well, hopefully it'll heat the place up. Right there. It's the only place it'll really fit. Alright, let's see. This actually splitter I got has a gauge on it too. See what happens. What the heck? It's got it in the yellow. Can't be in the yellow. This thing's got to be pretty close to full. Oh, there it goes. Not really too sure how this one works. Low, medium, high. Looks like only one side goes on for low and medium, maybe? See what high does. Oh yeah, lights up both of them. Yeah, that sucker really gets going. It's already really hot in here. I mean, I don't know about really hot. It feels hot to me. Huh. This might just work. That's sweet. I was just thinking how funny it is. Like how much work it is just to get clean year round. Like you could just go jump in a lake and get clean in the spring, summer, fall, but like in the winter, you got to have something closed in, and just that closing in part is just a crap ton of work. I mean, look at this place. This was originally a pallet on the ground. Do you guys remember that? Was like one of the first videos that I put out. We just threw a pallet in the middle of the woods. I think brought that tank out too, and that was it. That was the whole thing. And then we strung a tarp over the top of it just to keep you from getting snowed on while you were taking a shower. And eventually, you know, it got to this. It's fun. I mean, it's fun making this stuff, but it's crazy just how many days and calories and nails it takes just to get clean a couple times a week in the winter. Okay, that's enough. I'm sweating. Turn that sucker off. Well, there you have it. Year-round shower in the middle of the woods. It's fantastic. I'm gonna have to get a couple more oil lamps in here. Got this one Tito found for me. Real old German oil lamp. Usually use that if I shower at night. I use this and maybe my headlamp, set it on the shelf, or like one of the little Ryobi lights I put in here. But I like the oil lamp, like the glow from them. It'd be cool to have a few of them in here. It's gonna be fun to get that all set up in here. Well, I got a few more things to do. I got to put away all that crap in the cabin, all my sewing stuff, and do a couple more little sewing projects, jackets that are ripped and stuff like that for the rest of the day. And probably about 5, 6, 7 o'clock I'll come out here, turn the heater on, light my bucket of water, and try out the shower in here. My guess is it's going to feel really bizarre to be warm standing in here getting clean. Just gotten so used to the... Like, you never want to take a shower out here in the middle of the winter without doing a lot of like physical work first. Make sure you get your body temp up so you're almost sweating, and then you can get into the shower. I mean, how long does it take you to shower? Like 2 minutes or something? Dump the water on you, soap up, dump the water on you, get dressed. But if you're already chilled, you don't want to get wet and stand out here. So yeah, imagine it's going to be weird to just walk in here and have it nice and toasty. Now I'm kind of wondering if those all those cracks do need to be caulked up. It might be a good way to get a little bit of the steam out of here. I mean, there's also, you know, huge cracks in the floor by design, so the water comes out of here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Appreciate you guys watching the videos. I'm glad this sucker's done, and can't wait to get the cabin cleaned up and get back working on it. I think next couple of days I have to get the chainsaw out and go down and start cutting trees for the interior boards of the cabin. And, it's always great. It's going to be extra great. Thanks for watching. See you soon. It's too hot.